In this video, we will be learning how to use Zapier. So Zapier is used to create automations, and you could really automate anything you want, any software, any type of app that you may use in your day-to-day for a business. And the way it works is that it starts with a trigger. So the trigger will be some sort of action. It can be someone booking an appointment with you. It can be someone filling in a lead form, things like that. You could determine what you want for your trigger, regardless of the app, as long as it is an action. And once your trigger is initiated, you can customize a sequence of actions that you want to take place. Drafting or sending emails, updating a spreadsheet, things like that. And we're on the dashboard of Zapier right now. And you see an example here says save new leads from Facebook lead ads to Google Sheets and email me the lead in Gmail. So right here in the middle, you can ask Zapier to create a Zap for you. The automation workflows, they're called Zaps. You can do that, or you can create one from scratch. So for now, we're going to create a really basic Zap from scratch, and then we're going to come back and use this AI generated Zap. So right now I have a really basic lead form, name, email, phone, and connected to this form, I'm going to want an automation that sends a webhook to Zapier so that Zapier knows what is on the form and what to do with that information. So I'm going to go over to my automation right now. So this is what my automation is. This is on Go High Level. So my trigger is a form, and then I have a webhook down here. And the reason why I would be using Zapier, even though I could have automations here, is because Zapier offers a lot more integrations. So you could integrate Zapier with Gmail. You could integrate it with Google Sheets. You could integrate it with Calendly, DocuSign. Literally anything you could think of, Zapier can probably integrate with it. So that's why I use Zapier in addition to Go High Level. But my basic automation on Go High Level is form submission, the lead form that we just looked at, and I will send that information over to Zapier once somebody submits their information. So we're going to go over to Zapier, and now we can create a Zap from scratch up on the top right, or we can go over here to create. So for this type of Zap, since I want my trigger to be a lead form from a different platform, I'm going to use a webhook. So we see there's this more updated webhooks by Zapier. We're going to click on that. Then we're going to go with catch hook. Continue, continue. Now we have a webhook URL. I'm just going to add this to my Go High Level automation, and then I'm completely done with Go High Level. So right here, we have the webhook. I'm going to paste it here into the URL section, save action, save, and I am now done with this basic automation. So from here on out, everything is on Zapier. So we have our trigger. Now I'm going to go ahead and test the trigger. So we see I clicked on test trigger and it says no request found. That's because my form does not have any submissions yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some dummy data to the form and submit it so that we can have some data to test with. So I did a test submission on my form, and I'm going to click on test trigger once again. So now we have a record that we can use to fill out the rest of our actions in Zapier. So as you can see, request A, I have this record that I'm going to use. I have the full name, email, phone number, and then some other information like contact source, date created, time zone, things like that. I'm going to go with continue with selected record. And now after the trigger, I want to create a row on Google Sheets. So I already have my Google Sheet created in my Gmail, in my Drive. So what I want to do is create a row. So I click on create spreadsheet row, continue. It'll ask you to log into your Gmail account. Now I have to select my Google Drive. It's in my Google Drive. Now select the spreadsheet, Zapier tutorial. As you can see, this spreadsheet is already created and these are my column names. So for my columns, I have name, phone, and email. And as you can see, once I went to my Drive and picked a spreadsheet, Zapier picked this up. So Zapier scanned my spreadsheet and saw that I had these as my column names. So now what I want to do is click on this box right here. And as you can see, the data that we got from that form webhook is now here. So what I want to do is I want to match name to full name. Where is it? I want to match name to full name. Phone to this phone number. And then email to the email. And one thing about this is you can format this. So if you wanted this phone number in a different format, in between step 1 and step 2, I could format the phone number to however I wanted it to, so that when I got to step 2, in this case would be step 3 now, I would have the new formatted number here. So I have all of this filled out. So now whenever someone else submits their information on my lead form, their name will automatically come up here. Well, in the spreadsheet, phone and email. Click on continue. Now I could test this as well. So I'm going to click on test step. So the test completed. And now let's go look at the Zapier spreadsheet. So as you can see, the row was created. So the test was successful. I could publish that. And now in the top left, we see that our Zap is active. And then I'll add in another step just for fun. Now let's say we want to email this information to ourselves as well. We can go on Gmail, and it's not just Google. Google apps are more common, but there's over 5,000 apps, as you can see. So there's Calendly, which I use, and it's grayed out right here because something like this would only be a trigger. Like once someone books an appointment with you, then it would trigger a Zap. This is not going to be something that you use in the middle of a Zap. You can use DocuSign or whatever else you use, like Signwell or maybe PandaDoc. So there's many different apps that you can integrate this with, but we're going to go with Gmail. You can create a draft, or if you wanted to, you could skip the draft and just send the email. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to send the email directly. Continue, sign into Google, and then let's just say I'll send it to myself. So we have our to email, which is just to myself, subject line, and the body. And now we could click on this test step button. And now I will go over to my email to see if we got it. So as you can see here, the email worked. We got it. It came from myself to myself. And as you can see, it has the subject line and the body as expected. So that's something cool that we can do. So with Zapier, you just have to be creative. If there's some type of software actions that you want to automate, most likely there's a way to do it. If you have trouble doing it from scratch, you can use the AI prompt to help you. So let's try that out. So I want to add a row to my appointment spreadsheet in Google Sheets when someone books an appointment with me through Calendly. In the spreadsheet, fill in their name, phone, and email. So let's click on generate. So this is a suggestion that they gave us. It's really simple. Invitee creates an appointment on Calendly, and then we just create a spreadsheet row in Google Sheets. So if you didn't know how to create this from scratch, then this AI prompt is something that you can use. This is another example when you're running ads. So if you're running ads and say you have a Facebook lead form, then you could also use this as a trigger as well. I believe this is a premium app. So most of the apps are free, but there are a few where you have to be on the paid plan to access them. And I believe this is one of them. This is also really useful. If you are running ads, then it's probably worth it. But I will say the free version should be more than enough. Definitely start with the free version. And then over time, if you feel that you might need access to some of those more premium apps, then you can move on to a paid plan. And I highly recommend using Zapier. It's really powerful. You could automate anything that you want. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I hope this helped, and I'll see you in the next one.